200 is a bit of an abstract number, I'll admit. You may ask, why not 100 or 300? And I'll get into that. One of the things I realized was that we're so focused on instant results. The other day I was in a restaurant and waiting for my food, and it was taking quite a bit longer than I expected. And I grew impatient without even considering that maybe there's only one chef behind that door and they're slammed. This desire for instant gratification, I think, is a relatively newer thing for society. So 200 videos works out to be about 4 years of publishing a video a week. Of course, you could produce way more than a video a week and reach that number sooner. With my schedule, even doing one a week right now is a lot. The key here is not to get too hung up on the number 200, but more so committing to this idea that you're going to improve something each time, or try something different for each video that you create. And that ultimately results in an environment where you're growing very rapidly, and we learn what kind of skills we don't have or what kind of knowledge gap exists. And it forces us to confront that in a more real way than when it's all just abstract and theoretical in your mind. My creativity has really taken leaps and bounds, and my skill set has really sharpened in ways that I never expected it to. So if you were to attempt to do this, here's what's going to happen. You're going to run into where your knowledge gaps are. And when you run into them, it gives you the opportunity to upskill and go out and learn what it is you don't know. If I wanted to build a house and I've never done it before, I may have ideas as to how to go about it. Until I actually begin and start to try and make it happen, I'm not going to know where my knowledge gaps even are. And so similarly with creating 200 videos, you're going to run into those areas where you don't even know you have a knowledge gap, and that is powerful. For me, trying to create a video every week became quite exhausting quite quickly, because my desire is that these videos have a lot that goes into them, and I put a lot of effort into making sure it looks a certain way and feels a certain way. So I find that my limitation often comes from my desire to create something beyond the amount of time that I have. You'll find your limits, and that's okay, because you'll also find a clarity as to how you can begin to overcome them. For me, I often try to pack too much into my week, and I get exhausted and I get tired, and that propels me towards burnout, where suddenly I don't have the motivation to create anymore. How do I slowly expand my limit and not push myself towards burnout? You will get discouraged from time to time. And this is a good thing, because it really allows you to examine what sort of expectations you secretly have in your life. And some of those expectations are way too big for you to be carrying. Along the way, you're also going to learn discipline and systems and processes. And these things are really fundamental for you to improve yourself. We as humans love to move to the new and exciting things. We love to do things that maybe give us short-term benefits, but when it comes to the long term, you're going to need to rely on something beyond that. There's only so much you can accomplish in a week, and having that hard limit of time can be helpful, because at the end of the day, you may just have to release something that is not ready and choose to improve the next time you approach it, or choose to be okay with imperfections in your process. At first, this really bugged me, because I don't like to stamp my name on things that aren't ready. More often than not though, I find that in my mind something can be subpar or not good, and then someone that watches it doesn't see the issues that I see with it. And they may very well think that it's a good shot, or it's a good scene, or it's a good concept. And so learning to let go of the need for things to be perfect will just naturally happen as you move along. I've already felt an improvement in my lighting skills, in my ability to deliver concepts on camera, in my just general awareness of how to put together story. I am miles beyond anything I could have imagined when I first started. And that's the whole point. It's not necessarily about getting the most views or the most likes or the most engagement, but it's about sharpening my skills and ultimately having fun along the way, because if you're not making these videos for you, then you're gonna get caught up in disappointment. And that may detract you from ever growing into the person that you were made to be. I often think about some of the best artists in the world. What would have happened if they focused more on what people thought of them than on what they thought needed to go into the world, we would miss out on beautiful pieces of art and amazing creativity that allows us as humanity to collectively commune around things that we enjoy together. So make these videos for you. Even if nobody watches them, you're going to be better off having made them. So making 200 videos is taking steps in overcoming the fear of what people think about what you're making. Most creators get stuck over validation from people they don't even know. And that's a shame, because people who don't even know you don't know the gold that exists within you. You have a unique perspective and a way of seeing the world that only you can share. And so if you're not out there creating and putting out content from your perspective, we'll never get to know that facet of humanity. And that is the thing that helped me get started, was realizing that I may say the same things as other people, but the way that I say it can only be done by me. So if you enjoyed that video, I'm currently doing 75 hard and filming every single day of it. So that should get me up closer to the number 200 faster than I initially thought. If you want to get connected to that journey and watch as I progress, you can watch this video here.